Hello, it's Saturday the 2nd of January. You're tuned in to our 6 p.m. newscast coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. It's very good to have you with us. I'm Mark Broom. We start this evening with the South Korean military's first live-fire drills of the year. The big guns came out to play on Saturday as the armed forces hope to send a strong New Year's message to North Korea that further provocations along the border will be dealt with sharply and swiftly. Jim Young-gil reports.
They are the first live-fire drills of the year, and most of the big guns are out. The South Korean Army's Cobra helicopters fire automated cannons to take out enemy positions. The shots slam into their intended targets, and more rounds are unleashed in quick succession to annihilate enemy lines. On the ground, K-1 tanks fire live rounds under the aerial cover provided by the helicopters.
In the case of a sudden provocation from North Korea, the South Korean Army will strike back quickly and with force.
South Korean-made K9 self-propelled artillery was also on display at the drill in Pocheon County, Gyeonggi-do Province, promising a strong defense against a potential North Korean attack. By the end of the drill, the K1 tanks carry out their final mission, destroying enemy targets. 500 MD light combat helicopters hover above, protecting the tanks and troops on the ground. Military officials say the drill was held to check combat readiness and to prepare for any provocations from South Korea's unpredictable neighbor to the north. Following North Korea's landmine attacks at the demilitarized zone last summer, South Korea's defense ministry says it expects more surprise, but small-scale attacks from the north this year as well. South Korean soldiers taking part in the drill promised to fight the enemy with will and courage, whatever the circumstances throughout 2016.
국민 여러분, 새해 복 많이 받으십시오. 화이팅!
Jim Young-gil, Arirang News.
Now, a local government-run think tank suggests North Korea will continue looking this year for an appropriate time to test another nuclear bomb. In a report released on Saturday, the Seoul-based Korea Institute for Defense Analyses said it remained highly concerned about Pyongyang's military intentions, particularly in regards to a possible test. It warned the North will likely focus on taking the initiative in inter-Korean relations while continuing to use military threats as a negotiating tool. The Institute also advised the government to come to a consensus with Washington in order to effectively prepare for various crises related to nuclear and other weapons of mass destruction. North Korea has conducted 3 nuclear tests in 2006, 2009 and 2013. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un attended the opening ceremony of a science technology complex on New Year's Day. The country's state-run Korean Central News Agency reported Saturday that the Sci-Tech Complex opened on Friday to help spread the latest science and technology developed by the ruling Workers' Party. Kim, who you can see there, was joined by all of his senior aides, and he said that the centre would boost the regime's scientific prowess and lead a technological revolution. The location of the centre was not disclosed during the report. The centre's opening comes a matter of months before the Workers' Party plans to hold its first Congress in more than 3 decades. Kim Jong-un is expected to unveil North Korea's new policies and conduct a major reshuffle, which may include reinstating demoted military officials. US President Barack Obama has vowed to push ahead with executive action to address gun violence in the United States. In a televised address, Obama said 2016 was a year to resolve unfinished business and said he had received too many letters to sit around doing nothing. He said he would meet with US Attorney General Loretta Lynch on Monday to finalize a series of new measures that will be unveiled next week. Obama has repeatedly called for Congress to tighten gun laws following a string of mass shootings in recent years. Frustrated by Congress's lack of action, President Obama said he would use whatever power his office holds to put gun control measures into place. Now, a team of local researchers have waded into the age-old nature versus nurture debate with some findings of their own. They say a person's environment and lifestyle have a much bigger impact on health than their genetic background. Our Park Se-young has the details.
Human beings are born with biological information from their parents in the form of genes. They're why children so often look like their parents and why family members might end up suffering from similar diseases. However, genes are just one factor influencing health.
Only about 5% of all cancers are caused by genes inherited from a parent. About 15 to 30% of cancers are triggered by smoking, and about 30% of cancers are triggered by food and drink.
Genes have an even smaller effect on obesity, which is linked to a person's diet and lifestyle.
90% of all obesity cases are the result of the person eating more and moving less. Even if a person had a genetic predisposition toward obesity, it's only expressed with an unhealthy lifestyle.
Experts add the fact that identical twins don't always develop the same diseases shows that other factors, including environment, diet, and lifestyle, can change a person's genetic destiny. Park Se-young, Arirang News.
Now, New Delhi, the world's most polluted capital city, has been pulling cars off the road in an attempt to make life a little more bearable for its residents. The authorities there started limiting the number of cars on the city streets as of Friday based on license plate numbers. Public transit and police presence has been increased to ensure the limit is adhered to. Now, most of the city's citizens seem to be in favour of the limits, but the real test is going to come on Monday, which is when offices reopen after the New Year holiday. Air pollution in New Delhi is often even worse than Beijing. New Delhi's attempts to tackle pollution are being watched very carefully in other parts of India as well. According to the World Health Organization, 13 of the 20 most polluted cities in the entire world are in India. Hyundai Motor is on a hot streak in some of the world's biggest emerging auto markets. Korea's biggest automaker saw its market share in Brazil, Russia, India and Mexico, also known as BRIMs, rise to almost 11.5% in November. Hyundai Motor shifted just under 78,000 units in the 4 countries in that month, up nearly 4% compared to the same month a year earlier. By country, Hyundai sold the most in India, more than 43,000 vehicles, and the least in Mexico at around 2,500. But sales in the Central American market were up more than 25% on year. Analysts say Hyundai Motor's sale figures in the BRIMs are especially impressive, considering the auto market is in a sharp downturn at the moment. South Korea has the 34th largest gold reserves in the world. Seoul-based KB Financial Group says it analysed data from the World Gold Council, which shows the Bank of Korea had 104 tons of the precious metal as of December. The United States, as you would expect, has the largest gold reserves in the world at more than 8,100 tons. That's almost 80 times more than South Korea. Second was Germany, followed by the International Monetary Fund, Italy and France. China and Russia ranked 6th and 7th respectively, but both were strong net buyers of gold in the third quarter of last year. Now, surfing is generally considered a sport people enjoy on hot summer days, but an increasing number of surfers in Korea are braving the frigid temperatures to enjoy the sport in midwinter. Han Dan tells us more.
This is the site of a winter beach in Korea's Gangwon-do province. If we take a closer look, a group of people are in wetsuits riding waves on surfboards. Temperatures may be sub-zero, but that doesn't seem to matter as long as they can enjoy the powerful winter swells.
Surfers know how thrilling it is to ride winter waves. Yes, it's cold, but once you start moving in the water, it's not as bad.
Surfers can ride the highest swells during winter on Korea's eastern coasts as they embrace the conditions and dive into the cold water. Experts say offshore breezes during winter also makes waves last longer.
I brave the cold to surf during winter because unlike other seasons, I don't have to wait for waves that long.
Up to 100 surfers rush to beaches across Gangwon-do province each day to conquer the mighty swells. Winter surfing is gaining more and more popularity as a special winter sport. Han Dan, Arirang News.
Now, finally, we are going to take a look at the weather. And for those of you watching in Korea, you'll be pleased to hear that the unseasonably mild conditions we had today are going to extend into Sunday as well. The overnight low in Seoul is only going to drop to 2 degrees Celsius. And we can expect a high of 8 degrees Celsius in the capital on Sunday. And it's going to be even milder the further south you go. Temperatures will drop off quite sharply from Monday, though. And yes, it's actually going to start feeling like midwinter again. With that, let's take a look at the weather around the world. Well, that's all we have for now. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday, wherever you're watching us, and stay tuned to Arirang TV. We'll be back with our next newscast at 10 p.m. Korea time. Until then, goodbye.